Oh, hey.
What's wrong, Grease?
I'm just thinking about the Bedlam Raiders. Pyloons was meant to be a home away from home, but these raiders are ruining everything. Everyone's afraid, and there's nothing I can do about it.
At least people have a place to lie low.
Yeah, I suppose you have a point.
Besides, if the Raiders come around again, I've got your back.
Thanks, kid. I appreciate that. Later.
How long have the Raiders been here?
A few years. Not long after I arrived. I don't know a planet in the Outer Rim free of raiders in general, but these Bedlam bastards have changed Koboh forever. Most hunters know you cull when you need to, and you stop hunting when a herd gets too low. These raiders kill for sport, and made a lot of those beasts much more hostile to us. Take Shepherd-Pedes, for example. When they lose habitat, they get territorial and fight back.
Same as us, really.
Sure enough. Biggest mistake our kind ever made was thinking we are any different. Salutations.
How do you like Pyloons?
It is like an oasis. A dirty oasis. Tell Grease I said that and you will regret it, droid. Keep your eyes out for the Empire.
How you doing?
See you when I see you.
You're on a roll, Cal. Got another tip for ya.
What you got?
A bounty droid named Mesh has been babbling on the brood comms about that lab on the Shattered Moon. Go shut him up, will ya? They're a disgrace to the profession, if you ask me.
We'll see about them. Sooner or later.
Attaboy.
How'd you get involved with Sork Tormo and the Haxian brood?
The usual. I claimed the bounty on a brood hitman, and Sork sent more hired guns after me. I sent them back, you could say, in a way that got his full attention. Sork reached out with a job offer not long after. You've got to have a little streak of crazy to stay in this game.
Yeah, that checks out. Do you really see visions?
Not in the way you assume. I observe the world around me, and the voice within my mind speaks. Everyone at this outpost has a unique energy. Take Doma, for example. Strong, like a boulder. While waves of fear swirl around the cantina, they crash against our boulder and abate.
She makes everyone feel safer.
Yes! Once she asked me what would happen if she left Koboh. I told her what any with open eyes could see.
The outpost would fall apart.
You see it too, Sojourner.
Seeing these battle droids about takes one back, doesn't it?
Maybe a bit.
Oh, the Clone Wars. Those were the good years.
I've never heard anyone say that before, Moran.
Oh, sure. A separatist secession backed by tax-loathing free marketeers begins. Just as I'm establishing a profitable extrajudicial shipping operation. They paired like wine and flatcakes.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Apologies, I'm being insensitive. You probably fought in the Clone Wars as a child soldier, right?
No, not exactly.
Well, I suppose it's all over now, one way or another. Talk later, hmm?
The Coruscant turned out to be a creative dead end, huh?
Exactly. Life's too big to waste on something that isn't working out. You understand?
Yeah, I gotcha. So you took off?
Mm-hmm. Abandoned my label, my penthouse, the promise of fame, all of it.
Where'd you go?
Left my agents a note and hopped on the next transport to Kuat.
An industrial world. Just like your home world, right?
Yep. New and familiar, all at the same time. A bit busy.
See you soon, Cal. Hey.
Seems like you and Doma have some history.
That's right. She took me in, showed me around, hid me, because I was on the run, Cal.
On the run, huh? What'd you do?
The heist of the century. Every bounty hunter in the galaxy was after me.
You pulled off a heist?
Is that so hard to believe?
Well, yeah.
And that's how I pulled it off. No one thinks much of me around here, so they never see me coming. They never see me coming. And that's when I get them.
Barkeep.
You look tired. Take a load off.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Don't start.
Fine. Sit there and sulk.
I will.
Good.
All right.
See you later, Monk.
So, Monk, I've been thinking.
Might want to be careful with that.
Oh, ha, bartender and comedian. What did I do to deserve you? But seriously, it's just getting more and more dangerous around here. Might be a good idea to get some extra muscle. You know, protect our investment.
And reduce our margins. And bringing in extra protection could paint a target on the saloon. About all we can afford right now is an especially ill-tempered Jawa.
You know what?
Hey, Monk.
Word is you're planning to rescue my new favorite droid.
That's the plan.
Well, before you go charging in there like a mudhorn through a moisture farm, allow me to give you the lowdown. That raider base is inside a derelict Lucrehulk battleship. You ever seen one?
A few times.
Then you know how deadly those things are. It may be grounded, but that ship is still chock full of defense turrets and reprogrammed battle droids.
How do you know all this?
I read a lot. Listen, just grab Z and skedaddle before the whole hive comes swarming down on you, hmm?
Thanks for the advice, Monk.
Be careful out there.
So, after years of searching for the Great Whale, I returned home to the frozen shores of Sakavi Tar, where my tale began. And this world on which I was weaned and warmed seemed but a moon to me careworn eyes. So small. I foot-slogged my way back to Undun's cave, but I found it empty, and somehow colder than I remembered. You know, lad, sometimes the truth brings peace, and sometimes it brings sadness. The fish is nae always what you thought it'd be when it bit the line. I dragged myself out of that cave and back to my village. And what I discovered next sent a spar through me thrice-pickled belly. All me kith and kin, old and bairn, ravaged by famine and cold. For none other than Captain Wanyek Wet had been fishing in their waters, sparing what few fish remained and taking them off-world. And so it was that I found myself once again in search of the dread captain and his crew. Not just for my own justice, but to liberate my very home. When we next speak, I'll tell you what became of my crusade. Aye, our story nears its end. I discovered that Captain Whit was plundering my very home seas for exotic fish, and in the process, starving the old tars who raised me from a wee yoke. I spent many months in search of them. At long last, I discovered them on the salted shores of the third moon of Antine. I hied to Antine and tracked me foe to the Caracas Trench, a fissure sliced clean through the moon's heart. There, amongst the brine and black, I found him. Wanyek Whet and his vile crew, surrounded by glumbering eels, spearing them with their harpoons. "Captain," I cried, "you've broken your promise never to harvest the seas of Sakavi Tar." And I said, "Your command be forfeit if you dinna forswear my home waters." Oh, I'll scarce forget the snarl he issued as he turned to me, slow as a frozen reef, regarding me after years of thinking me dead. "This," he growled, "is why you dinna toss the fish back into the sea." Before I could shake my flippers, the barb of his harpoon spun through the deep, and its hook pierced me in the chest. My juices filled the water, and as my vision grew dark, I espied Wanyek, smiling sharp as a fang.
That's horrible, Scuva.
I told you, lad, that mine be a dark tale. I'll tell you more when next we meet.